I want to talk to you about someone you lost, not someone who died, someone who is still alive, still breathing, still existing somewhere in the world, but is no longer in yours. Maybe they left. Maybe you had to let them go. Maybe the ending was messy and loud, or maybe it was so quiet you almost missed it happening. Either way, there is a space now where there used to be. And I know that space feels less like freedom and more like an open wound some days. But I need you to hear something that nobody has said to you clearly enough since this happened. God did not take them from you. God removed them for you. And there is a difference so significant, so life-changing, that once you understand it, everything about what happened will finally make sense. Stay with me. Think about what was actually happening in that relationship, not the version you remember on good days, the early days, the hopeful days, the days when everything felt possible, and you told yourself this was it. Think about the truth of what it actually was. The nights you went to sleep feeling invisible, the conversations where you expressed a need and watched it be minimized or ignored, the version of yourself you were slowly becoming, quieter, smaller, more apologetic for simply existing. You were disappearing, not all at once, not in a way that anyone from the outside could point to and name, but piece by piece, conversation by conversation, compromise by compromise. The truest parts of you were going underground. And something above you saw it, something that loves you with a patience and a precision that no human relationship has ever matched, saw exactly what was happening to you, and decided, enough. Here is the part that confuses people. If God was protecting you, if the removal was an act of love, why did it feel like devastation? Why did it feel like the worst thing that had ever happened to you? Because love and comfort are not the same thing. A doctor who removes something harmful from your body is not being cruel, even when the procedure hurts. A hand that pulls you back from a road you did not see the danger in is not being unkind, even when the pull is sudden and sharp. The pain of losing them was real. The grief was real. The nights of replaying every moment and wondering what you could have done differently, that was all real. But the pain of removal is not the same as the pain of punishment. One comes from something being taken that was good for you. The other comes from something being taken that was slowly destroying you, even as you held onto it with both hands. What you felt was not evidence that losing them was wrong. It was evidence of how deeply you had invested in something that was never going to give you what you actually needed. And that depth of investment, that capacity to love that completely, is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be redirected. What God saw that you couldn't. You were too close to see it clearly. That is not a criticism. It is simply the nature of being inside something. You cannot read the cover of the book you are living inside, but from a wider view, from the perspective of something that sees not just where you are, but where you're going, the picture looked different. It saw the ceiling on that relationship, the invisible limit beyond which it could never grow into what you actually needed. It saw the patterns that were already forming, the ways you were being shaped by that connection into someone less than who you were created to be. It saw the person waiting on the other side of this pain, not as a consolation prize, not as a replacement, as the one who was always meant for you, who could only reach you after this chapter closed. And it made a decision you did not ask for and could not understand in the moment. It removed the obstacle. Not because the person who left was evil, not because everything between you was a lie, but because some connections, however real they feel, are not destinations. They are detours. And the detour had gone on long enough. I know it is hard to believe right now, when the space is still fresh and the silence of their absence is still loud. It is genuinely hard to hold the idea that something better is coming. But consider this. Every single thing that has ever made your life richer, deeper, or more meaningful, every person who showed up and changed you for the better, every opportunity that redirected your entire path, arrived through a door that could only open after another door closed. You cannot receive what is coming while your hands are still full of what left. You cannot walk into a new room while you are standing in the doorway of the old one. The space that feels like emptiness right now is not a wound. It is a vacancy. And the universe does not leave real vacancies unfilled. What is being sent toward you is not a lesser version of what you had. It is the version that actually fits who you are, not who you were shrinking yourself to be. It is love without the footnotes, without the conditions, without the exhausting arithmetic of giving more than you receive and telling yourself that balance is coming soon. It is the real thing, and it is already in motion. The person who was removed from your life was not your ending. They were your education. They taught you what you will no longer accept. They showed you the specific shape of what you do not need. And in leaving, whether you pushed them away, or they walked away, or the universe simply closed that door, they made room. Room for something that does not require you to be less. Room for someone who finds your depth extraordinary rather than exhausting. Room for the love that has been trying to reach you, that has been held back only by the space that was already occupied. Trust the removal, not because the pain was not real, not because you did not deserve better treatment, but because the hand that removed them from your life is the same hand that is now, quietly, precisely, with a love you cannot yet fully see, building something extraordinary in its place. God is not punishing you. God is preparing you, and what is being prepared for you is worth every single day of this wait. Drop it in the comments if this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. Every day there is a new message here that was written for you. Share this with someone who is grieving a loss they cannot make sense of yet. The best is not behind you. It is coming. See you tomorrow.